Daily Heavenly Manna, November 19th. The chosen from text from 1 Thessalonians 5 chapter verses 6. Let us watch and be sober. Explanation. Let us watch in the sense of taking careful notice of all the directions which the Lord our God has given us, respecting that would be acceptable service to Him. Let us watch ourselves, striving to walk as nearly as possible in the footsteps of the great High Priest. Let us be sober in the sense that we will not be frivolous, that while happy, joyous in the Lord, free from the anxious cares that are upon many others through misapprehension of our Father's character and plan. We may nevertheless be sober in the sense of earnest appreciation of present opportunities and privileges in connection with the Lord's service, not thoughtlessly negligent, letting opportunities and privileges slip through our hands to be afterwards regretted. Reprint number 3056. Amen.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're cracking open what feels like an instruction manual for highly focused living.
It really is.
It's all based on this one short passage. Let us watch and be sober.
And our source material gives us such precise guidance on what those two words actually mean in, practical terms.
Yeah, and it's far more nuanced than you might think at first glance.
That's the mission today, really, to distill the practical essence of this command. What's so fascinating is how it connects two things we normally keep separate: serious commitment and, genuine joy.
Okay, let's unpack that. We should start with the first part, watch. When we're told to watch, I think most people think externally. Looking for threats, scanning the environment.
That's the natural assumption, right? But the guidance here suggests a much, much deeper layer of observation.
Okay, so what is it?
Well, the source says watch is about taking careful notice of all the directions provided. But the real task, the more difficult part, is the internal scrutiny.
So not looking out, but looking in.
Exactly. It means watching ourselves.
But hold on. If I'm told to watch, my focus just naturally goes outward. Why pivot immediately to my own behavior?
Because the goal is alignment. You observe the rules, sure, but then you have to rigorously self-examine to make sure you're walking as nearly as possible in the footsteps of that highest standard.
So watch is vigilance.
It is, but not just for external trouble. It's for internal drift.
That makes the directive immediately more demanding. Which brings us to the real curveball. Be sober.
Ah, yes.
To a modern ear, being sober sounds, frankly, a little dull, serious, maybe even joyless.
And that's the stunning paradox the source gives us. It says being sober means you're not frivolous. You take the opportunities before you seriously.
Okay, that part I get.
Yet, and this is the key, the text explicitly dictates that in doing this, we must still remain happy, joyous in the Lord.
Wow. So sobriety isn't about being boring, it's about being focused and happy. How do you maintain that intense seriousness about your duties while also being fundamentally joyful? Seriousness usually breeds stress.
Right. And the source says the joy is a result of proper knowledge. This happiness comes from a very specific kind of theological freedom.
Which is?
Being free from the anxious cares that weigh people down. And those cares, they often stem from a simple misunderstanding of the big picture, a misapprehension of the foundational blueprint.
That shifts the entire focus, doesn't it? It moves away from performance anxiety and toward confidence that's born from clarity.
Exactly. You realize the odds aren't stacked against you. When you get rid of that foundational stress, you can actually achieve the positive action of sobriety.
Which is?
Maintaining an earnest focus on the present opportunities you have. The source warns that the alternative is being thoughtlessly negligent.
And you just let valuable opportunities slip through your hands.
Yes, because you weren't paying attention or you were too burdened by anxiety that wasn't even necessary.
Which, of course, you would live to regret. So the two directives work perfectly together.
They do.
You have mindful self-observation, the watch part, combined with this purposeful, non-frivolous action that is paradoxically filled with confidence and joy. That's the sober part. It's diligence driven by deep certainty.
And that leads to a final thought for you, the listener. The source material links this very practical action, avoiding negligence, directly to theological understanding. So it raises an important question for you to consider.
Okay.
How much of the anxiety and stress you feel when you're facing a new opportunity? How much of it stems simply from a misunderstanding of the overall plan rather than from a true external threat?
That gap between the perceived threat and the actual reality.
Exactly. That gap is really worth reflecting on as you move forward.